Okay. We're on.
You got it?
I don't want something like that.
Okay, so welcome to today's New Knowledge. We have with us Megan Atkinson with the Barter Theater, who is going to talk about some creative collaborations and ways to engage your staff and your workplace environment. So without further ado.
Thank you. Yes, like she said, I am from the Barter Theater. I'm the Director of Education and also the Director of a program called Project Real. And really, one of our main goals as part of Barter is to use theater tools within our community to strengthen our community. And a big part of that is obviously helping our businesses. And so we have been rolling out with a new program for corporate and business training to use theater tools to help with interpersonal skills, communication skills, soft skills within the work environment. So we're going to be active today because that's what theater is all about. And it's the art of communication and interacting, so we will definitely be doing that. So if you guys don't mind joining me up here, we'll get started. I promise I'm going to give you guys time to go back to your food so that you can definitely get your lunch in. So my philosophy is do everything you want and nothing you don't want, okay? I'm not going to make us act like chickens or anything like that, I promise. Okay. So, bouncy balls are fun. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to start with a warm-up activity. We'll see what our athletic skills are like too at the same time. How this will work, our first goal is to set a pattern, okay? We're going to set a pattern with this ball. And how that works is I'm going to look to someone and I'm going to ask their name because I don't know everybody's name, although I could start with Marianne because I know Marianne. I'm going to say Marianne's name, look her in the eye, and pass the ball at the same time, Marianne. Okay, now, she's going to look at someone, pass it to them, say their name.
Tanya. Kathy.
Nita.
Kathy.
Jennifer.
Debbie.
Debbie.
Sam. Sally. Sally.
Gina.
Gina.
I'm a bad catch. Jenny.
And who hasn't had it? Anybody not had it? Great, it'll come back to me at the end. Megan. Great. Why don't you all fill in the circle? Yeah, I don't stink yet. It's not 5:30 yet. Okay, so we're gonna do that again, just to make sure we have the pattern, okay, and we remember everybody's name that we threw it to. Yeah, I know, good luck with that one. Okay, Marianne.
Tanya. Kathy. Nita. Kathy.
Sandy. Sally.
Can't remember.
Gina.
Gina. I was going to say Gina.
Jenny.
Gina.
Great. Marianne.
Tanya.
Getting faster.
Nita.
Marianne.
Tanya. Kathy.
Marianne.
Tanya. Sally.
Marianne.
Tanya. Kathy.
Marianne.
Gina.
Marianne.
Tanya. Sally.
Marianne.
Tanya.
Marianne.
Tanya.
Marianne.
Tanya.
Marianne.
Sally. Kathy. Tanya.
Oh, we have balls on the floor.
Sally.
Marianne.
Tanya. Sally.
Marianne.
Kathy.
Tanya. Okay, pause.
Kathy.
Let's pause. Okay, so what happened? We lost our balls.
Drop some balls.
Okay, so let's take a moment to describe what just happened, the experience.
Fun chaos.
Chaos.
Fun chaos. Great. Now, is chaos always fun?
No.
Okay. When can it be fun? Give some examples of when it can be fun.
When they turn balls in people's face.
Yes, yes.
When it doesn't matter, when what you're doing doesn't really matter.
Okay, when it doesn't matter.
When
Great.
When it doesn't hurt physically.
Okay, yes, no one's getting hurt physically. When is the chaos not fun? What are examples of that?
When you're trying to accomplish a specific goal,
Okay.
not everybody's on the same page.
Okay, great. So not everybody's on the same page. What else?
And you've got conflicting pathways.
Conflicting pathways. Great. Yeah. How did we lose our balls? How did they just get out of the path?
But that's too many.
Too much going
on.
Pouring.
Okay. What did you say?
I just was repeating something.
Oh,
Too many
okay.
balls in the air.
Okay. Too many
Which is an
going at once.
expression.
Okay. How often is your work environment like that?
Never.
Daily?
Wow.
So we have daily, and what did you say? Oh, daily.
All the
Oh,
time.
fine. Okay. What happens? Does what happened here happen in your work environment? Meaning, the balls dropped and they just stayed there. Like nobody went to pick them up. What happens when things like that occur in the workplace?
We don't get anything done.
Okay, so productivity goes down. Great. What else?
reach your goals.
You don't reach the goals.
Causes friction between each other.
Great. Causes tension, friction.
Which leads to bad morale.
Yes.
Sometimes there's one person that's always picking up the balls.
And
that
there's
dropped.
Ooh. Because
There's nobody picking up the balls but a drop.
yeah. Well, how many of you wanted to go pick them up, but didn't know if that was really what you were supposed to do in the activity?
Didn't have time to think
Didn't have time, no. One was always coming at
Okay,
me.
so didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how many of you in the work environment see the balls drop, but you don't know if you're supposed to be the one that picks it up? Yeah. Okay. What creates that? Why don't you know if you're the one that's supposed to pick it up? Indecision. Okay. So decision making.
Probably bad leadership.
Okay. Leadership.
If it's a project.
Okay. Anything else?
I was gonna say the same thing, like no delineation of authority.
Okay, great. Any other ways we would have described this activity?
We learned people's names.
You did. Great.
Yes, Sally.
Awesome.
Now, I have to admit, after you started throwing a bunch, I just kept my eye on her because I knew that's where the ball was going to come from.
Okay,
That's
so-
what I did.
Yeah, me too.
I ignored all the drop balls and just looked at my.
So what did she essentially do? How would we, I guess, categorize that or label it?
Focus her attention on
Yeah.
the goal.
She focused on one goal because really, when you think about it, what were your only responsibilities in this activity?
Catch a throw ball.
Yeah, and with who?
You person.
How many?
Two.
Two other people involved. So, if that's the case, how come we still dropped the balls? If there was really only two things that had to happen.
Their attention would get caught on other tasks or
Okay.
flying objects.
Yes, in this case, flying objects. Yeah. Awesome.
Some of us were throwing quicker than others.
Okay,
So
so
we were waiting for.
different pace.
Right.
Yeah. How often do you find yourself with the teams that you work with that the pace is not the same? And what does that do to the team?
It's frustrating for the people
If
who are
you-
ready to move on
Go ahead.
and execute.
And
So
some of us
frustration.
just want to go ahead and throw that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the person isn't ready to take it or.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Even if they're not ready.
Not saying that about Nita at all.
And I think, we're all humans. I think at some point we've been that person that's ready to move on, and we've also been that person that's kind of lagging behind because it takes us a little more time at whatever task that we've been given. So I think in some ways we can all relate to that at some point in our lives. Let's do this. So we're going to start it again. Can somebody give a suggestion as to what we can do to have more success with it?
Maybe realign each other so that the balls aren't going in every direction, like whoever was throwing it, like kind of line up or something.
Thank you for that. Let's keep the same structure, so the same parameters. So what can we do with the same parameters?
Fair to the person in front of you.
Well, we have to keep the same pattern.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I mean by parameter.
Wait,
For
Keep
the
the
pace.
Yeah.
Put that in front of me and Debbie
Pace.
over there, then.
That's, yeah, that's what I mean by keeping the same structure, is that we stay where we're at and we throw to this, we have the same pattern.
Couldn't we wait, do one at a time?
Let's try it.
I don't
mean,
know, like, that really slowed down our process though.
It's a great, I mean, we can try.
Maybe not have
quite so many balls.
Yeah,
Okay, what if I said we had to keep all the balls?
Well, if we had a timed release, so that
They're all the same.
Tanya's throwing to me and somebody else is throwing to their partner, maybe all at the same time, instead of,
What do we think? Which one do we want to try? Okay. Everybody, or pick up a ball. Yeah. We'll start wherever you're at. Bring out all the balls.
You want everybody to have a ball?
not everybody
No,
has a
just the
ball,
ones
but
that
you
were-
will be getting them.
Yeah. Okay, so we're having a timed release.
Yeah, so ready, set, go,
Okay.
and then you start the first throw.
So
I mean,
we're starting
everybody,
from
everybody
First
starts,
throw.
everybody goes.
Everybody.
Everybody
Why
goes,
don't- why
1,
don't-
2,
then
3,
go back with all balls.
go.
Marianne!
And then whoever you were throwing to, and then don't throw the next one until everybody's got it. Everybody's got it.
their ball,
Then we do it again.
So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3.
Bring it out.
Forgot to say your name.
It's 1, 2,
But I
3.
can't remember it.
Okay,
We lost the
I don't
ball.
know where it went.
okay, so what happened?
I don't know.
Okay, I was focused to see if she was gonna throw me the ball, and Mary, I missed my ball.
So,
Do we want, do you still want to try with this before we try something else?
I think that will work, but I think that once you, like, so 1, 2, 3, throw. 1, 2, 3, throw, and I think everybody has to count out loud, so we're all.
so you're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with Tanya.
1, 2, 3, Mary.
Go.
Make it sound.
Okay.
1,
What if we're all going
2,
to-
3, Mary.
Somebody's off.
Ours collided.
So that's not working.
Okay, so what happened?
Too many balls in the air.
Yeah.
Still
Same
too
time.
At the
many.
same
At the
time.
same time, too chaotic stuff.
It's still,
Okay, what do we do? What's the, what, who has another suggestion?
take some of the
You
balls.
take, I say one at a time.
Bounce one.
Yeah.
That's it. I throw to Gina, then she throws to her person.
I'll focus on.
What's a part of that focus and the action right now?
It's prioritizing, you know, where I'm going with my actions today.
Okay, what's a part of your action? I guess
Catching the
how,
ball from
catching
me,
it, and then what?
throwing it to Jennifer,
How are you throwing it?
delegating. You know, it's,
I bet you know what that's
accepting
like.
responsibility and delegating
Okay.
responsibility.
Okay, so she's ultimately doing what? Our form of throwing the ball is a form of what?
Receiving
Which is,
and releasing.
that is true, that's the action, but what is that a form of? In the context that we're using it in right now?
Communication.
Communication, yeah. So when we're communicating, what's gonna help with that communication?
Precise instructions.
Preciseness, what is a part of preciseness?
Communication.
Well, how? What helps us be precise in the communication?
Letting the person know that we're communicating with, that we're communicating with them.
Yes, so what's a part of that?
Calling out the name.
Okay, so name is one. What else?
This is what we're doing, here comes the ball.
Yeah. So, our dialogue is the name. What else do we also communicate with, though, that I think people often forget? what?
Body language.
Body language, yeah. And what is really important, and especially in this, that we're doing in terms of our body language? Eye contact, okay? So, big part of it, which is hard to do. Well, we'll keep going. So we gotta have, like she's talking about, just focus on your task, that communication you have, the eye contact, the name. We'll see what happens. And then we'll try something again if it doesn't work.
Tanya.
Mary
Alice.
Tanya. Tanya.
Do we need another one?
Uh-oh, we're Alice.
That's my
Mary
Alice.
Hey, guys.
Sally, I'll get it right one of these days.
What happened?
It's still too chaotic, right?
Okay.
Too many balls in the air.
Balls were smacking against each
Yeah.
other.
So here's a question. In the work environment, are we allowed to say, oh, we're going to take away these tasks right now?
Or is there another way to do it? Like, could I roll the ball to
Okay. Yeah, I didn't say how you had to throw it. That's for sure.
True.
I think you can prioritize your tasks.
Yes, I agree. Isn't that what we kind of did this time around?
Yeah, we limited.
Because we made our things.
I mean, there may be
Possible.
some things that you can
Let fall.
write a note about
Delegate.
and do it tomorrow, or delegate it to somebody else,
Yes.
you know.
Have my assistant.
Does everybody need to be throwing the balls at the same time right now? Maybe only 4 people need to be doing it. Because it's not a priority.
Well,
I mean, if we're talking about balls, right now.
If you've done your priorities, and say the big ball is the biggest priority right now, start with the bigger balls and then work down to the medium balls and then the smaller balls.
Yeah, but what happens, like, for example, Gina has a ball and I have a ball, but Gina throws her ball at me and I've got low priority ball. I gotta catch both of them all.
Too.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
I don't know that I can do that. That'd probably go in the board.
You're coordinated, Jenny, should you say?
What do we think? Any other thoughts? Can we try taking a conscious breath with each throw? So meaning, if I have it, I'm going to take a breath through my nose. Marianne, you can say the name on the exhale, but there needs to be at least a deep breath before you throw.
And what happens if I throw it that's your
Tanya.
Well,
She should have,
do you think we, yeah, hopefully, if they still have it, do you think we should hold off? Sorry.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
They are going. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, I think we're on. And on the count of 3, take a breath. 1, 2, 3. Marianne.
Me.
Tanya.
Sally.
Marianne.
Jenny.
Tanya.
Marianne.
Jennifer.
Marianne.
Sally.
Tanya.
Marianne.
Sally.
Nina.
Tanya.
Marianne.
Sally.
Nita.
Oh, still got it.
Okay, pause.
Okay, that was better.
That was better.
Because we slowed down.
Oh, okay, so we slowed down our pace. It was everybody that did that for themselves. So if we were to compare and contrast the first time, how would we compare those two versus this time?
Was it chaotic? Did it feel stressful?
Yeah, it didn't feel stressful. It wasn't chaotic. Anything else?
We weren't going through the motions, like, just to get it done.
That's a great point.
everything was getting completed. Or everybody was catching the ball.
So, what made that difference for us? Taking a breath. How often do you guys stop to take a breath?
11 to 7 at night.
I was like, oh, that's pretty good. So, how often do you notice that you hold your breath sometimes?
A lot.
A lot, okay. Why do you think we keep ourselves from taking that breath, that deep breath?
Because we have so many things to do, we don't want to take the time. We don't want to lose that time.
So we don't want to lose the time.
Or we forget.
Forget.
Anxiety.
Anxiety. So here's a question. If we describe the difference between the first one and the last one, which one would you say is more successful? The last
first one was more fun.
So what are you saying, Marianne? That the anxiety and the chaos is fun? But I think it goes kind of connecting to what you said about we get caught up with that time, that we don't have enough time. But what happens when we keep that mentality and we're throwing? We're just in the, like you said, we're in the motion, right? Do we make more mistakes? Do more balls end up on the floor?
It's quality instead of quantity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I say unfortunately, because I think we're all victims of this. We live in a society that's fast-paced. It's go. People demand an answer right away. And that's even myself. I find myself, I'm like, why haven't they answered my email yet? And then I have to remind myself, Megan, that everybody's on their own time. That's why I say we're all victims of it. Even if you start to be mindful of it, it's a practice. Great. How does this translate for you all in the workplace and taking that tool? Because here, the context is throwing the ball. But how does that transfer into your work day? And you may not know the answer to that right now. That's totally okay. We only have an hour of our lives together, So let's go ahead and put the balls up. Great. No. Come back.
Well, I haven't thought about that. I think looking for the phone number, which gives you a chance to kind of think about what it is you're going to talk about. Email and text messaging has just sped up our lives incredibly. And of course, I started peopling before there was email. And Debbie and I were there together. And we remember the old days where it was just a phone. Or a written message, a letter. But yeah, I think that I make a list every morning of all the things I need to get done and how many of these can I do by email and just get out of the way. And yet it would be good to just kind of pause and really read that email 2 or 3 times over and see, does it really say what I need it to say?
That's been a goal of mine, to not respond to emails right away. To actually think about what they're saying to me before the instant impulsive. And back and forth that way. So no matter what your response, and still makes sense. Okay, it has to still be in context of the conversation you started. So I can't start a new conversation because it started with that first letter of the last word. Does that make sense? Yeah? You guys ready? Okay, go for it. Do you want to start?
Yeah.
Go for it.
That was just me here this morning.
No, it was.
Wow. Oh, I got groceries, I went to the bank, I got gas. So how was Vermont?
First letter of the last word. She was the first letter.
It was very time if I could go to Vermont.
Don't you like
Don't worry. Tell me what
Bazooka! I really started that all done tonight after work. I got lucky today because I don't think they start until 11:30.
You have to come back with a beat.
So I can. Bazooka!
Unless
Oh, I thought it was the first.
I think it
First letter and the last.
Good. Well,
Unless
I work at Washington County Public
Hey, yeah.
Library, head of information services, and I think I came to our library and spoke to us about United Way and the services you
Keep throwing
provide.
agents. That's a great question. Keep throwing me. I know. It can be a little tough, a lot here.
Wow. This is part
So,
of
when you get.
I can think of one for you, yeah.
In this sentence with.
How is Daniel?
I can't say this now. I also find myself wanting to read it.
Can I?
Why? I don't know. How?
Frankly, I think that's a good idea. As a matter of fact, remember.
Lots of
Hilarious.
hilarious.
People so often, and I'm still not sure if I got my Boston.
Was on the internet and came upon a site about Boston.
That happens to me as well, in my position, I get companies and.
After I've completed my responsibilities that I need to do, she is.
I'm not quite sure why.
Tell me about the times that you're outdoors.
Personally, as I've gotten older, I feel like
Achoo!
I don't always
I'm
remember
so
the names.
sorry.
And I think to your point, saying the name or having people introduce themselves to me and say, hey, I know you really am. To the library to speak to us. I'm gonna make it easier. I had a cousin speak to us one day protest at the Atlanta airport.
Pretty much never.
Everybody's.
Hell.
No, wait, okay, that was.
That's
fair.
what-
That's not fair. I'm sure
Summer is a
everyone
really
feels
nice
that
time
way.
of the year, and I generally go up to for a week. I've been doing that for several years.
It's
So I really
our time together.
enjoy.
Before we go.
You keep going, teeth. Totally.
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I am originally from Pennsylvania, so I go up to Pennsylvania. My sister's in Roanoke, so I often go to Roanoke. You know, in other
Okay,
general places.
pause. Shake it out. What are we gonna do? Okay, so let's talk about this experience. What was this like?
It was difficult.
Why was it difficult?
We kept getting hung up on the same letter. So it's like, how many sentences can you start with an S or an E?
Okay, so got hung up on the same letter. Did anything else make it difficult?
Trying to stay on the same topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so keeping it in the context, great.
We, in my opinion, and our topic kind of shifted a little bit, but it shifted to something of common interest.
Okay.
And that made it seemed to go better for me once we had a common interest.
Okay.
First, I threw a curveball by starting with, have you ever played the xylophone?
Oh, yeah, you're that kid. That is funny.
We started over.
That was me.
That's what she said. That was me.
Oh, anything else?
She totally did that.
I beat her. We just realized that she had come to the library to speak, and we talked about that. And
Oh, great.
and stuff like that. You know, it went well. And I think we were kind of opposite in that we tried to make it easy on the person. Because one of the last words I was going to have was going to be you, the letter. That's hard. That's a hard word to come.
Yeah.
So instead, I added a little addendum, like I don't remember what it was at this point, but anyway. So.
Okay.
You can really do small talk, you have to be more concise with what you were.
Ooh, yeah. How often do you find yourself doing small talk with people that you interact with through your work? A lot. Do you mind me asking what you do specifically?
Work with the Chamber of Commerce, administrative assistant, membership, small business.
Okay. Great, so yeah, you interact with a lot of people. So, based off what you said, you had to be more concise. What forced you to be more concise?
There were restrictions on
Yes, the restrictions. So, what did the restrictions do to you?
Slowed me down.
Slowed you down,
More speed to concentrate,
more concentration, more focus.
pay attention.
Pay attention, yeah. What else?
You're trying to end up with a word that is not like xylophone. So you're trying to.
Really? You were trying?
Trying really hard, it was hard, but trying to communicate in a way that you can get communication back, a response.
Great.
Like
So-
added words to make Mary Ann's
Yeah.
next
Right.
sentence easier.
Right.
Oh, wow, you thought about your
Accommodating
partner.
the next-
Yes, I was very thoughtful, wasn't
You used an acronym at the end of a sentence.
The truth comes out. So,
We're split you all.
That's right, before we.
so there was more thoughtfulness into the person you were talking to. And this is the first time I've met you. But yeah, I felt like we were much more engaged than a normal, hey, how are ya? You know, that small talk. What else did it force you to do?
To learn about that person you're talking to.
Yeah, to dig in, essentially. What else? That kind of goes with the thoughtfulness part.
Well, we had to keep eye contact
So there was that communication.
and focus.
What else? Listening. That's big in this one. Because of the restrictions. Like the restrictions forced you to listen. How often do we find ourselves thinking of what we're going to say before the person that we're talking to even finishes their sentence? I think we're all guilty of it. Yeah. So that is something, like, when I learned this activity and learning improv as a theater artist, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to do this with everything. Not that I have to start my first, word with the first letter of the last word they said, but just having that engagement of listening to what they're really saying before I think of something to say. Because then we are more thoughtful. We're actually thinking about the person we're communicating with and responding versus reacting. Anything else out of this? So I want to give you guys time to eat your lunches. So go ahead and sit down, and I can take questions about the corporate training that we have, or anything about Barter that you might have questions about. I can do my best to answer. Mary Ann used to work there.
Just make it up.
Yeah, that's the Barter way. I do have my card. I'm going to give you guys a card in case you have any questions. Email me. That looks really good. Thank you. You're welcome.
There being W-2 of us, I don't know that that would work.
I am. Oh my gosh. Yes.
We're gonna do that.
Oh, okay. Wait, I know your daughter. Tia. Okay. Yes. You look like her too. Okay.
I'm trying to get him to say a word.
Familiar. So there we go. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, but I was the clerk in Damascus before I came here in Adams.
So we have to have you
Well,
down
right
on
now-
camera, we got empty space on Facebook.
My Facebook users. Not good for film. Do you guys have any questions about our training programs or anything about our education or anything about Barter Theater or about what we did today?
You were mentioning something, I was very, improv, you're gonna do improv or something at Glade. Could you talk a little bit about that? I went to a conference, a library conference, and we had to do improv with a librarian who also does improv.
Great.
And it was really beneficial. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the guts to do it, but I think it'll be
So
fun.
Yeah, we're working on providing improv classes at the local breweries. And we are for sure partnering with Studio Brew and Damascus Brewery right now, and we're in the process of talking to Wood Hills. And we tried to get a series going starting this past month, but I think it was a commitment, it was a 7-week commitment, which I think is harder to do as you become older, to commit to those things. So we're gonna look at doing just like one-time workshops here and there so people can come and drink beer, eat food, and do improv activities, and kind of take it from there. So hopefully eventually, I was telling Marianne earlier that my big, picture dream is to have each brewery have an improv team, and then we have like an Olympic improv festival where the breweries come and they also have a brew fest with it, so they have a competition on their beers, and then also see these teams perform improv. So that is going to work. So if you're interested in that, email me, and I will let you know when those dates are, because we're starting to set those up for the spring. Any other questions?
Can you just give us like a really quick overview of what your corporate training program, like topics or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the topics that we're focusing on with our corporate training, one, communication. How do you communicate in the workplace? And that was a big part of what you guys got a taste of today. 2, creativity, so thinking outside the box, problem solving. We are finding, so I also work in public schools with younger groups, and a lot of the talk has been seeing these kids come out of the public school that they're struggling with problem solving skills, the creativity. And so that's a big part of what we focus on, because that's so much of a theater world is tapping into our creativity and solving problems using different mechanisms. So that's one. Conflict and resolution. How do we handle that in the workplace? And that goes back to communication skills, but how do you communicate effectively when you're disagreeing with someone? And I will say that as somebody that's been practicing theater since I was 13, that has been one of the biggest gifts theater has given me, is learning how to deal with conflict and not take it so personal. I think we're people, we naturally want to take it personal, but really it's about what's going on in the job. And how do you deal with that? And also just the interpersonal skills. How do you really take thought into the person that you're talking to? And that's really what theater has done for me. And problem solving, all of it. And that's why we're focusing on those topics with our corporate training, because other theater companies in America have found a lot of success in partnering with corporations and giving them these tools. So, does that answer your question? Okay, great. You have a question? Okay, you look like you have a question. Okay, great. Any other questions? No? You guys are a good group. Yeah. Any questions about Barter?
What play coming up are you excited about?
That's a great question. Let me reflect for a little bit. One that is not a big show, it's called Uncanny Valley. And we're actually taking some of the students I work with at Holston High School to go see it. It's a 2-person play, and it's about the scientist who builds a human. And the built human doesn't realize he's not really human. And at the course of the play, he starts to find out that he's not truly human. And the reason why we're taking the Holston High School kids is that a big part of biology at the end is genetic technology. And the future of genetics is fastly changing. So that's why I'm really interested in that play. I'm also really interested in Friendly's Fire, which will be in October, and it's a new play, and it's about PTSD with veterans, which is a very dear issue to me. So I'm very excited about that, to create that open dialogue about what our veterans are going through.
Is that the one that was put on last summer?
It was a mini.
Play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to see that? Oh, great. Yeah. I'm really excited to see it in full production. Anything else?
What's coming up for a lot of the children?
Yeah, we have, right now Barter players are on tour through March. I know we're doing Amelia Earhart. I think that's the first one in the spring. I might be wrong, don't quote me on that. I'm trying to think. We do so many plays. I have to refer back to my sheet. I don't remember them all. But that's the first one, I think. And I'm going blank on the rest of them. But you can definitely visit our website and they have all the information. We're doing Midsummer Night's Dream, which I'm really excited about, for adults and high school groups. It's one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. It's the shortest one. So, if that says anything. And it's funny. Any other questions?
Added is it $1 Million Quartet?
Oh yes, we did add that in place of Ain't Misbehavin'. So we're moving Ain't Misbehavin' to next season. We got the chance to do a national tour with the quartet. And so we decided to do that instead. Because the company has already booked, they're kind of taking the management part of it, and we're doing the artistic part of it, so it was kind of a really good opportunity for us to jump on board with it. You guys know your stuff. You probably know it better than I do. Anything else?
No, do you still act? Do you still perform?
I know. My love and passion is moved to education and outreach. So I used to, but I did not. I wasn't being fulfilled the way that I used to be with acting. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I shifted. And it's been awesome ever since. I love working with kids and I love working in the community and getting to know our community through theater.
Do you move around from school to school?
We are actually our Project Real, which is the education program in the schools, is in Holston High School, Abingdon High School, Patrick Henry, Glade Middle, Norton City Schools, McDowell County, Mount View, and Riverview, and then Bristol City. That's all I can think of right now.
That's a lot.
We've spread.
Yeah.
We started in Abingdon, and now we've got a presence in 12 schools. And that was just in a 5-year period.
And McDowell's quite a drive.
Yeah, we have a teacher stationed in West Virginia that lives there. Yeah, that helps. Anything else? Cool. All right, well, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Basil.
We really appreciate you being part of our new knowledge and how you'll come back and do another session.
I love that. Thank you.
Well, we have another, we're just getting started 2017 with new knowledge. We've got another one coming up next Wednesday. It's going to be graphics design, and that's Nicole Peggy with the Workforce Development and Continuing Education at Virginia Highlands Community College. So please join us. Got several others. We got many others that's coming up. Look at our chamber website, the incubator website. Let us know how we can help you. And thank you again. I've met a lot of nice friends today. Have a great day.
Thank you.